Yay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to It's Sybil. We got all these interesting sounds and things going on behind the scenes, but I am
Yeah.
Sybil Wilkes. Welcome to our episode of merriment, fun, and information. And that is what we
Yay.
strive to provide. Myra
Mhm.
J., how are you?
Happy New Year, everyone. And yep, I'm still
Happy
Myra.
New
And young Kwyn, Townsend Riley, how are you?
I'm good. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm
Happy
good.
New Year to all of you. So
Mhm.
tell me, how are the holidays? Myra, what'd you do?
Christmas, we had to downsize Christmas because my family that was scheduled to come in from Chicago had that vid, had that
Mm.
Kwyn, caught that Kwyn. So it was small, it was intimate, but we did something different. We did Christmas brunch, and it turned out to be so much fun just to have something different. After
Uh-huh.
all these years, it's like, you know what? We can't do another turkey dressing, sweet tater. Who gonna bring the potato salad? No, no. So we did, waffles and eggs and salmon croquettes and
Ooh,
m-
Nice.
mimosas and Quinn. You probably know the name of this. What did my niece make? Coquito.
coquito?
Yeah.
Mm.
With the coconut milk and rum. It's a Puerto Rican
Ooh,
alcoholic
It
drink.
sounds cute.
Yeah.
sounds cute.
Yeah,
And
we
so
did
that
that.
was that your drink of choice for
Right.
the brunch?
Coquito.
Because
Yes, we decided to pour that in the coffee. It was kind of like an
oh,
eggnog type, just a little thick. So we decided to put that in the coffee, and I had 4 cups of coffee, so it was very good. It was very good.
Mm.
4 cups of coquito coffee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was just for
So
four of
no
us.
Yeah.
champagne or mimosas or anything like that. You went straight for the coquito.
Yeah, because champagne, to be honest, it gives me a headache. It doesn't matter,
Mm.
high end, low end. So when we saw the coquito, we just went for it.
And does that work with rum or other liquors? I'm just curious about the whole because coconut gives me a headache, but I'm thinking
Really?
about how the liquors other is it a
No,
tequila? Could you add tequila to that?
of course you could. I don't mess with brown liquor anymore. No,
Okay.
brown liquor is for the heavy hitters. I'm like, no, ma'am. I'm
Okay, well you can
beyond
get some
embarrassing
clear you can
myself
get
in
some
public.
clear tequila. Just saying, just saying.
Yeah.
Quinn, how was your Christmas?
It was good. I drove to Michigan with Cameron and my baby sister Corey to go visit two other sisters of mine on my father's side in
Are they
Michigan, and we
K's as
spent Christmas with
well?
them. No, they
Okay.
are Zoe and Maya. One is
Okay.
11, and Maya, I think, is 4 or 5. We haven't seen
Oh,
her since we, had my father's funeral a couple of years ago. And so
Mm-hmm.
we brought some Christmas gifts and we played games with them and watched cartoons. And then Cameron got us in a hotel with all three of us. We watched like The Mummy and All Dogs Go to Heaven. And so it was kind of cute. And then we drove back listening to Nigerian audiobooks, and it was great.
cool.
In the language?
It
Okay.
was. I gotta get something about Nollywood. Nollywood is so descriptive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and listening to the audiobooks, I'm like, dang. So is this her cousin or is this her father's brother's child? And it's like, oh, that is the cousin. That's the father's brother's child because that's the cousin. But it was deep. Like, Nollywood be getting it goes real. I love a good
Yeah, our
audiobook.
producer
So nice.
Chica has always said, "I'm going to make you guys sit down and watch some Nigerian films and movies and stuff."
They're
She,
really.
she,
I
she never did.
enjoy them.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah.
They're really good. They have some good ones on Netflix too.
Yes,
So
yes.
I should
That's
say
Okay.
I'll
that's
tap
that's
in.
where
Okay.
I've been
Hmm.
catching them on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
And they're also on Delta Airlines, by the way. Like Delta Airlines
yeah,
on the
yes,
long.
Really?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Delta
They
has like
are.
347 movies, and they have some Nigerian movies on Delta Airlines.
And you probably,
Not my preferred airline, but I take
uh,
it.
Why was that shade?
hello, Stephen Hill. How you doing?
Hey,
I
Merry New
love
Year,
Delta.
everybody!
Merry to
Merry
you
New
Merry New
Year.
too.
Year.
Yeah.
How
I'm
were the
sorry,
holidays,
I was in
Steve?
the other room. They were great. The holidays were fantastic. I went to Ohio.
You get to
How
go
was
to
the
see
gumbo?
Yeah. There was no gumbo this day. There was no
Okay.
gumbo for chicken. It they were lemon drop cookies from my Aunt Becky's place,
Oh,
which is just
Oh.
is home. It's a slice of heaven. Ohio's where I spent all my Christmases when I was a kid growing up with my grandmother, and I hadn't been there in 17 years. And I was going to be in New York all by myself because COVID wouldn't allow my family to be great and get together like we had planned. So literally on Christmas Eve, I decided I was going to get a flight to Ohio and flew out the day and then flew back to New York on Christmas night. And it was the best Christmas I've had in a long, long time that didn't involve my nephews. So.
Oh, nice.
Good,
Nice.
good,
Well,
good,
that's
good.
great. That's great. And New Year's, did everybody have a good New Year's coming into the season?
Yes.
Good. Good.
Yes.
All
We
right.
did Vision Boys.
I-
It was cute.
Let's move to the topical, shall we? And talk about what's going on today. This morning, I don't know about you guys, but this morning started off very sad for me.
What is? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
What is Dick?
I don't know. I
Clark
can't read.
Dick
that.
Clark's New
Dick
Year's
Clark,
Rockin'
New Year
Eve.
Rockin' Eve.
Yeah.
Dominated.
All right, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm back. I'm sorry.
We wanted to talk about that during entertainment,
Okay.
if we could.
Okay.
So I won't start off with the really bad news because it's kind of hard to follow. But I will talk about the Grammy Awards have been postponed, Stephen Hill,
Yes.
due to the Omicron variant spread. They announced that the planned Los Angeles ceremony, because of too many risks from the Omicron variant, say this could be the start of another year of pandemic upheaval during the award season. And so originally scheduled for January 31st at the newly renamed crypto.com arena, live audience performances, no new date on the books. What do you think?
It'll be spring. And I have an idea. So they'll probably announce the date, or at least know the date, by the end of this week. A little inside stuff. And they moved it, not out of the goodness of anybody's heart, but it's because there are a number of artists who are like, we will not be participating. Like it was all the artists who were like, we're not going to be down for that. Now, what's interesting, if anybody watched, the other I'm not sorry, they didn't lose. Well, they did lose. Like the country on like country audience has no problem gathering
None.
as a
being
mass,
on top
right?
of each other.
If you watch CBS Country Roundup or whatever it was called on New Year's Eve, like the country audience was way like all up on each other in a way that like you thought it was like 2017. And so different genres deal with this differently. I say that because the Academy of Country Music Awards is March 7th, and there's no looking at changing that date at this point. Right? Because the artists in the country field feel a little bit differently than elsewhere else, because as you notice, the country field is full of like the non-vaxxers and like you can't tell me what to do. And so it's
no mask, no vaccine, they don't care.
Right.
Did you see that on CBS? It was crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty frightening to me.
I looked over there during our commercial breaks. So.
Oh, sure you did. Okay. And do you think that this will be the future of other events scheduled for January into February, such as the Super Bowl?
So Sundance just canceled.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Sundance just went virtual, like literally the same hour as the Grammys. The Super Bowl is interesting. Remember, the Super Bowl had limited audience last year, so there's no way they won't cancel the Super Bowl. There's 0% chance of that. Will they not have an audience? What are the audience be up of? Will it be reduced audience? That's a possibility.
Because it's scheduled to be at the new SoFi, right? Or SoFi Stadium,
Yes,
right?
Yes. SoFi in LA is where it's scheduled to be with, of course, there is that whole game, but then there's Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick
The hell of
Lamar.
a halftime show. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll stay on top of that, but we're now in the third calendar year for the pandemic, as people have said. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this continues to play out.
It's the fourth year. It's the fourth year. Remember China. China had it in 2019. Remember China. The China virus, 2019.
Thank you so much for that. This, as I was mentioning before, it started out as a sad morning in terms of news with a horrific fire in Philadelphia. 12 people, they say, have been killed. 9 of them were children in this fire at a 2 apartment units owned by the Philadelphia Housing Authority overnight into the morning. it was still dark. It's happened about 6 or 6:30 this morning, and they said that 3 adults and 9 juveniles were killed in the fire. The ages of the victims range from 2 to 33 years of age. And just a very sad thing. Obviously, a fire anytime and of that magnitude is horrific. But they say for the first time, the deputy commissioner, Craig Murphy, said he's been around 35 years, and this is probably one of the worst fires he's ever been to. They said the recovery effort does go on. Several people did evacuate the building, and they say from the moment they arrived, the fire crews attacked this blaze aggressively. They finally got it under control in about an hour. But they said it was an odd layout of the apartments, as well as the fact that some apartments had a number of fire alarms in there, but many were not working. And so the detectors, they said one unit had 6 smoke detectors and 3 carbon monoxide detectors in one, and 7 smoke detectors and 3 carbon monoxide in the other as well. A total that is just unbelievable in that building, but a number of which did not operate. And so, yeah, very sad. And hopefully we'll talk to somebody about that, because as a Chicago fireman's daughter, this is something that is always, it just brings home to me, especially not for nothing, but for the firefighters that are involved, especially this time of year, as they are affected by this. You guys, were any of you fans of Force MDs? Yes. The group?
Yes.
Remember?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Haven't
Okay.
they done the cruise?
Yeah.
Yes. A few times.
Absolutely.
Force MDs were a group that spanned hip hop and R&B. I'm looking at Kwyn. Kwyn, they were a group they formed in the early 80s, became popular in the late 80s. In the mid 80s, with a song, 2 songs in particular called "Tender Love" and "Love Is a House."
Love is a house. Love is a house.
You are welcome.
And they were originally known as Stephen Hill. Do you remember the original name of the group?
They were known as the Rabid Dentists. Then they changed to Force MDs. It's true. I don't know what you're going to say, but I know I'm right. So whatever.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go with yours then.
What were they called?
I knew that they were called the LDs.
Oh.
The lowdowns? I don't think so.
The lazy dentists. Dentists is in there somewhere.
Okay, still dentists. Among the first vocal groups to intermix with doo-wop and hip-hop beats. And so my point was, Jesse Lee Daniels, one of the singers of Force MDs, has died at the age of 57. And he is like the 4th member of the group to have passed on now.
I believe that's true.
Yeah. And so they didn't hit it, with the songs immediately, but I think after, what was it, Steve, their 3rd album, they said, that's when
Love Is a House. Love Is a House was, I think, the third album.
Yeah.
They had some, I can't remember what they had. Their first single did okay. I can't remember the name of it now. I should have looked it up. But yeah, RIP to Jesse.
Absolutely. And this is great. Black College Football Hall of Fame has announced their class of 2022, and a very impressive group, starting with one of a friend to the Tom Joyner Morning Show. And you may have heard Tom mention him a time or two, not as an athlete, but as a writer. Roscoe Nance of Tuskegee University has been named as he was a great writer for the new USA Today and newspapers like that. Also, Ben Coates, who is a tight end from Livingstone College. Donald Driver, you may not only remember as a Super Bowl winning player, but also winning of Dancing with the Stars from Alcorn State. John Moody was a running back out of Morris Brown College. I mentioned Roscoe Nance. Big Nate Newton, offensive lineman from Florida A&M.
Who eventually played for the Dallas Cowboys, right? I think.
Yes. Yes. And a Super Bowl winning Nate Newton, by the way. Sorry, Steve, but you brought it up. I wasn't going to mention the Cowboys. William Billy Nix, a coach for Morris Brown and Prairie View A&M, and Sammy White, wide receiver out of Grambling State. And they are the 13th class of the Black College Hall of Fame. The 7 inductees selected from a list of 29, and they will. The 4 of the 7 men played in the NFL. So good on them and congratulations. And anytime that we can get some Black college athletes getting their due, and especially for the work that they have done as members of that class and as members of the NFL, good on them. Driver, as I said, was a part of the Green Bay Packers, and I know I hate that team. Can I just tell you how much I really hate that team? But now,
I'm sorry, you mean the Super Bowl winning Green Bay Packers, or no? Okay, never mind. My bad. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Wow, Susan.
I can't say anything.
You started. You started.
I got
you
on
started it. You started it.
You started it.
I'm doing Falcons stuff right now.
I'm not liking you the way I don't like their quarterback. Can I just tell you that? And that's saying a lot, mister. But I was going to say that the quarterback for Green Bay is being touted as perhaps MVP of the NFL this year. And he's getting a lot of pushback from people because of the way that he acted or reacted or lied about being vaccinated.
Lied.
That's the way I choose to think of it. Aaron Rodgers lied. And said that he was inoculated.
Yeah. But he did keep his jersey on, so there's that.
Wow.
All the shade.
And you know what? Good thing he kept his jersey on, and I'm not mad at Antoine for taking his off. I wish he had just kept taking the whole uniform off. That would have been really good for me.
So you want a dinner and a show? Is that?
Yeah. But we will during the What You Need to Know segment, we will also talk about Antoine Davis and what all that looks like for this man who I believe is seriously troubled.
Antoine Brown. Okay. Yes.
You said Davis.
You said Davis.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
Yes, we were just to bring everybody up to speed. So Aaron Rodgers lied about getting his vaccine. Antoine Brown lied about his vaccine, and that was where the two came together.
And that's where it came together because not only did Antoine Brown lie, but he got a fake vaccination card. But people, but they welcomed him back after that. He had to do some time, and then he came back on the team. But this time, when he wouldn't go into the game, there's a lot of angry people, including the coach who said he's no longer a member of the team.
You can't have that on the team. You can't have that on the team. You can't have it on the team after lying about your vaccine. He had to be off of the team. In a team sport, he had to go, and it's unfortunate. If you watched Tom Brady in the post game conference, who clearly stood by his side with him. On more than one team, right? So he was clearly in his corner, and the anguish he was going through, but I think he framed it correctly about, he's got to get some help. There's some help that Antoine needs to get.
Yeah, he absolutely. And like I said, we will talk about that. We'll talk about that on in the What You Need to Know segment. Let's talk about today. About a lot of investigation, a lot of talk about what's going to happen tomorrow. Stephen Hill, you have referenced it a little bit. Insurrectionary Hill, you're calling
Insurrectionversary. It's Insurrectionversary tomorrow.
And just quickly, tomorrow will be the 1-year anniversary and the observance of the insurrection on the U.S. Capitol, the attack on the Capitol. So
this is Insurrectionversary Eve.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
This is when you put all your stockings.
I do not want that down my chimney. Hell no.
It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. As we speak, one member of the Trump administration, his former press secretary, is meeting with the Insurrection Committee, the 1-6 investigation committee, and she is meeting with them. And this is a woman who quit who quit on January 6th
Yeah,
after all of this
that
went
day.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's talk about what's really going on. Our question of the day: Bubble Bath Day is one of the national days of January. So my question to you: what is or what are your favorite ways to indulge or treat yourself?
I did not know this. And let me tell you, I enjoy a good soak every now and then. But because I had hurt my knee, I hadn't been able to bend. And this morning I said, dang it, we're going to work it out. If we got to do a whale belly flop to get off in this tub. And I turned the lights out, I lit my candles, I turned on Spotify and hit that Zen button and ran my bubbles with my eucalyptus. And when I tell you a sister's relaxed right about now, and I feel so nice and supple.
You look it. You look
Yeah,
fresh
yeah.
and refreshed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, for the first time in almost three months, I was able to soak in the tub. Now, it was a challenge, I ain't gonna lie, because that water was a little hot, but once I flopped in there, I couldn't get out. So it might be some peelage going on. But I love a good, just a good, but you know, you set the whole mood. Low lights, mellow music, straight chill.
Oh, you set the scene.
Oh yeah. It's a whole thing for me.
You don't just turn on the water, put some dish
Mr.
soap.
Bubble off of there.
No, you don't do that. You really commit to the whole scenage.
Yeah. We got eucalyptus going, and the bath bombs going off in the.
Oh, I do not like bath bombs.
You don't?
Like,
Why not?
no, they don't provide much bubbles as like the Dr. Teal stuff. They provide the color and like the fragrance, but like the bubbles comes from Dr. Teal.
You use both of them because that's what I use. I use the Dr. Teals for the the muscles and getting all that out. But I gotta have the bath bomb too because I just like something fizzing around me.
You know what? Okay. I didn't expect this much description from Myra J. I thought perhaps there were going to be some other things, but I'm glad we tapped into something there for you, Myra. That really, really, you set the mood for this conversation.
Okay.
Absolutely. And a lot of people are now just really excited by the suggestions you've made. And so I think they're going to be coming over to Myra J soon and saying, okay, Mama, let's get this party started. Stephen Hill, I know you are a man who likes to treat yourself and to have these nice moments of relaxation and splurging, if you will. For some it's splurging, others maybe not so much, but you are a man who really does appreciate a good relaxing moment. So what about you? What are those favorite ways to indulge or treat yourself?
I remind myself that I'm engaged to Shantae, and everything after that is just I'm good.
So can I just assume that every question from now on we're gonna go? It leads us back to Shantae Moore.
No.
Because that's a good way to indulge. Yourself.
It is. Like that is the truth. No, mine is really getting in the car and driving. I love to drive by myself, play music. It used to be all the other questions would lead back to like going to Mexico. Because at the end of the day, that is the truth. That is indeed, without a doubt, my happy place. But getting in a car and driving, and sometimes just sitting and watching a movie and turning my phone off. Like that's the thing, and not looking over because there's you just look over and see what else is going on. But no, those are things.
And you are able to completely disengage as far as the phone is concerned.
I have to actively do it. Like I literally have to leave the phone in another room where I can't feel its buzz. Myra likes things that are fizzy next to her. I'm used to having things that are buzzy next to me. But you have to leave it in another room and just make sure, take the time to take that for yourself.
That's a good thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Young Kwyn, what about you? How are you able to treat yourself? What are your forms of relaxation?
I definitely go to the movies by myself for like a self-care date. But I also really like skincare products. I recently purchased Alicia Keys' Soul Keys line, and she
Mm-hmm.
has this face mask that you do in like this really nice body scrub. So I like body scrubs, like the
Yeah.
coconut and like but I also just use like coconut oil and stuff and like Vaseline because nothing wrong with Vaseline. And like
Amen.
the clay mask. And sometimes honestly just like some good food. I really am like I try not to be an emotional eater, but honestly, if day's going well, I'm like, yep, we're gonna get some ice cream. I just got the chocolate frosty. And then days are going back. I'm like, yep, we're gonna get some ice cream. We're gonna get chocolate frosty. So 2022, I'm like, okay, so we're just gonna get a little piece of candy because it was hard, and a little piece of candy because it was good. But yeah, that's fine.
So, I believe in scrubs and things like that too. I really do, but I have really sensitive skin. So, like for the longest, it was all about the salt scrubs, and I really
Yeah.
couldn't do that because it had a horrible effect on my skin. The sugar scrubs, I appreciate, and I can do. My body can tolerate that a little bit more, but I just have to be really careful with a lot of even with a long bath and all of that.
Yeah.
Whatever you put in, I have to be very careful about it. Otherwise, I end up looking like one big chemistry disaster in a dermatology class. A good bottle of wine, says Sonia Maples on YouTube. Good bottle of wine and a good book. My girl. That's
Yes,
what I'm talking
amen.
about.
Mhm.
Yeah. Are you a red or a white wine girl, Sonia? I'd like to know. Get in my
Pink.
excuse me. Shirley Ann Tony Davis on Facebook says, get in my sauna tub. All right. Go
That's
ahead.
right. Let us know that you have a sauna tub. Let us know that you have a sauna tub.
Another
Come
one for the
on.
bubble.
Get in a sauna tub. Get in my sauna tub. Let us know. Let us know.
Yes. Let us know for
Drop the
sure.
address.
Okay. Tanya Perry, that's what I miss. A long foot massage.
Oh, yes.
And I haven't had a pedicure since all of this started. I have to do my own. And there's
Yes,
nothing
that
like
one.
a good pedicure and a foot massage, as far as I'm concerned. That really is a fun, relaxing treat.
What if you have short feet?
What if you got a big belly? I can't reach over and reach my feet. I gotta go to the places and have somebody else do them now.
So, Myra, are you all back into like the manicure pedicure stuff? Are you?
Yes, but the salon that I was going to had the partitions up between you and the manicurist, you and the pedicure person. They all wear masks, and I was debating with the Kwyn out there. Do I want to go back? And I decided yes, but I got my KN95 mask. I have my face shield. She gonna have her stuff on, and if I have to walk in there like the Taliban, I don't give a damn. With nothing sticking out but my little eyeballs, I'm like, look, I just want to stick to a glass.
Okay.
just like I've ordered barbecue on the south side of Chicago, just stick my
The
hand.
plexiglass, and they can just see your eyes above the counter.
That's all they need. I'm like, just take these hands and take these feet and push me right on out the door. That's all they need.
Okay.
And are we still talking about going to a spa or just
Well,
okay?
I like bubbles. What?
No, I just thought maybe that's how you address your gentleman caller. Just take these hands and these feet.
And look, so you talk about stuff you haven't done in a while. Look, you
Okay,
have to
we'll
come
stop
with
there.
an instruction manual.
Oh golly. Steve, with your form of relaxation and treating yourself to a long drive, you don't have to worry about, coming in contact with people in terms of the coronavirus and things like that. Were there other things that you had perhaps amend in terms of relaxation because of coronavirus?
No. But then again, remember, I've been out here,
You've been in these streets.
I've been free balling the world for a while, so and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop. Omarion not gonna stop me from doing that. So
Marion's not gonna stop you.
No. I was in Times Square. Come on.
And then there's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a limit on that too.
Until it wasn't, by the way. I don't know if they showed that on TV, but they had a limit.
No.
They had a limit, and then all of a sudden, around 10:30, they were like, it was almost like every policeman in town, like, just open up the gate and let everybody come in. If you look at it like 10 o'clock and 11:30 looks very different, and that's because they allow people to come in.
You know, I was watching it and I was going, it doesn't seem to be as spacey as it was earlier. I thought it was me. I had a few. I'm like, maybe I'm seeing double, but I swear, it looks like it's more people than it was a little while ago.
And it might have been the mayor's. And what the hell? I'm out. I'm off the job. I'm off the clock in just a matter of minutes. Come on in. This like that.
Well, let's. I mean, I'll wait, but. Yeah, I think it's interesting that like everybody's pulling back on their audience, and the outgoing mayor who had control was like, "Nope, don't let him in. Let the guy who comes in at 12:15 handle this."
Yeah, let it. Yeah. You're right. Kwyn, have you changed over the years in terms of your relaxation? In terms of food and treating yourself to that, or the all of the beauty products and what have you.
I actually feel like I didn't do lots of self-care before the pandemic. I feel like I was really heavily relying on, or I didn't really have lots of time to myself. I was like a huge extrovert, but because of the pandemic, I'm really much more ambiverted, where I really do enjoy time by myself. And like, I can really just like have lots of fun, just relaxing with Kwyn. So at the top of the pandemic was my first time really investing in skincare. Before I just used, like Cetaphil and like, soap and water. At the top of the pandemic, and I was like, ooh, Glossier, like, ooh, what's this? And I was like trying out different products and like allowing my body to be experimented on with like different fragrances and stuff. But it did take time for me to like want to go back to the movie theater to get my nails done. But I do get my nails done every 2 weeks. Like I have to go to the nail salon.
And is your salon like Myra's with all the separations? And
I just go wherever Chicago's open. But my girlfriend, she has a membership downtown at this spot called Nail Apart, which is fairly familiar. They don't speak to you until you actually wash your hands on the inside. You be like, have an appointment, go wash your hands.
Yep,
and I'd be like, dang, okay, I have a 9 a.m. appointment. And they'd be like,
that's how my
okay,
place they just point.
Straight, right.
They used to take your temperature outside, like don't even step in. They're like, wait.
Right.
Take the temperature and they're pointing straight to the sink, like don't touch nothing.
Right.
So I don't go through all because like I said, I haven't been in the salon since for nails anyway. But when I go to get my hair done, I double mask, mask, and all of that kind of stuff. But not I've never had with the temperature or
my mom did the temperature and the face shield at the airport.
Yeah,
I think the face shield was too much. I felt so claustrophobic. I thought I was going to die.
Oh, really? I love the face shield because it's clear.
It was messing me up, man. I'm like, am I dying? Is this? And I feel like I had to turn my whole body to talk to people. Like I couldn't do it. I'm so over this pandemic.
Sonia Maples. All right. I asked what was her favorite, red or white wine. She said red or white, whichever is closest to the door of the fridge.
My girl.
I tried Snoop Dogg's wine.
I was not bad at that.
Decent. And mix them both. Pink.
Snoop Dogg has some red wine, y'all, which is pretty decent. You should try it.
Oh, really?
I gave some to Kim Whitley for her birthday, but she never said, how she enjoyed it or not. But John Legend has a really nice line, and Snoop has a really good line.
What's John Legend's name of his wine?
I think it's Legend. I think it's John Legend Wines, if I'm not mistaken.
I love that.
No, really, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be funny. I really think it is like John Legend or Legend, something like that.
I just
if you
all
send me some
wines.
alcohol, I will definitely let you know how I enjoy it.
They have so many wine subscription boxes now. Like that, I also want to invest in and try some different stuff because I like all wines too. But red makes me feel like I'm in Scandal and I feel like a grown woman. But I do like wine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're one of the gladiators or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, with a little glass of my popcorn.
Red wine and popcorn. It's sometimes it's the breakfast of choice.
Don't laugh at me.
No. I'm actually laughing because Michael Stallworth says John Legend's wine. Is it for ordinary people?
Good one.
Michael Stallworth. Boop, 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 boop.
Come on, you get it all. I don't know what your entertainment and respite of choice is, but Michael, you get it. Oh, okay. All right. Ordinary people. It's LVE. Is that what it is? Wendy says it's John Legend is LVE. But very good. It's Live by John Legend, says Sonia.
No, I hope they sell it
Live
at the
or
corner
live?
store. That sounds
Yeah,
like
they
some
do.
of the suburbs. Oh, they do?
Okay.
It's sold everywhere? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't go to these bougie Lucaston.
But Myra, I will definitely make sure that you get some samples of this
Thank
for
you
your
very
next
much.
bathroom,
Thank you.
relaxation spa
Thank
/
you.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I do miss what I have not returned to is getting massages.
I was
and
going to mention that. Yeah, and that's
I got
something
one
that,
in Turks. I got the seaweed wrap. It was great.
really,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Y'all gotta go, man.
I love a good massage, and I literally said right after the first of the year, I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna lay on my face. Like, don't roll me over. Just it's plenty to work with back there for an hour.
Okay, with that, I think we should move to what you need to know.
And then Kwyn took over, and so now I'm scared again to go.
Let us move to the What You Need to Know newsletter. It is absolutely free, and sometimes you get more information than you paid for. Please go to sybilwilkes.com and subscribe, and we'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday morning. Young Kwyn, you are up, and tell us about the Black-owned grocery store coming to one of Chicago's food deserts.
Yes, I thought it was some good news to start off 2022. Lawndale, a neighborhood in Chicago, West Side neighborhood in Chicago, they're going to be opening up the first Black-owned grocery store. It's going to be called the North Lawndale Fresh Meat and Produce Market. It's going to be open by spring 2022. It's also going to have a full butcher. There's going to be a section of wide, fresh fruits and vegetables. But he's also going to ensure that 85% of the food that's going to be stocked at the grocery store is going to be from Black farmers and Black-owned suppliers. And he's working with the Black Farmers Association to partner with farms to make sure that it's bringing high quality and affordable food. And both of these are supposed to launch again, like in the spring. But as we know, like just being from Chicago, Chicago does have a whole bunch of food deserts. And what a food desert means is that people have to travel miles to actually find a high quality grocery store. And particularly in Lawndale, popular chains such as Save-A-Lot and Aldi have recently closed. So there is no grocery store actually in the neighborhood. So it has been officially considered a food desert. So the fact that the Black man is doing this in spring 2022 is not only revolutionary, but needed. And I think it's definitely something when we think about Black businesses that we should go out and support. It's going to be located at 628 South Pulaski Road if you are in Chicago. So be on the lookout for that come this spring.
So tell us about, in addition to the supermarket, he's giving, it sounds like it's going to be a whole strip mall of his businesses.
Yes, because he said he's going to add a cafe, a little ice cream shop, a place for people to sit and like study, a little corner store. He plans on opening like a whole little strip on the west side. So I'm like, okay, west side coming on up.
Okay, all right, that's great to hear and great to know, and we're getting more stories like that.
Yes.
Not only in our hometown of Chicago, but I know that Coy talks a lot about the businesses that are being started or being revived in Atlanta and
Yes.
other. Yes,
Yeah,
Myra.
They have just opened right before Christmas. It's called the New Black Wall Street near Stone Mountain, and it's a huge strip mall with all these Black-owned shops, a grocery store area that will have Black-owned products in there. Period. That's their specialty. So that's very, very cool. I visited, and it's huge.
Oh, so you have been there?
Yes, I have.
Awesome.
Yes, I have.
How are the meats?
Well, they weren't ready yet, but as usual, they said they're coming. Actually, the grocery store hadn't opened yet. It was scheduled to open mid-January. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Well,
it
I
should
hope
open
they'll let
soon.
us know when it is open. Love to get more information about that particular one. And Kwyn, as more information becomes available to you, to give an update on the store in Lawndale on the west side of
Yeah, there
Chicago.
was a report that I didn't know like how hard it was for Black folks to actually open their businesses in terms of how many big banks actually give loans to business owners. There's a statistic by the Federal Reserve. Like when I was looking at the Tribe Chicago Book Club and I was looking to the statistics about how many Black businesses are in Illinois, but only 5% of Black business owners have actually received loans for the businesses during the 2020 pandemic, whereas like 15 Hispanic owners and like over 35% of white business owners have received loans. And I'm like, wow, that's actually disenfranchising to our community, which makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and you know, different time period, different year, but same results in terms of, you know, ending on the low end of the totem pole there.
Okay.
But good to know, and especially one of the things that I really love are those stories, like, and I think it's in. I want to say it's in Georgia, Myra, where people are starting their own communities. You know, not only the farms, but people are starting to live there and to work the land and starting their own towns,
Yep.
as
Yep.
far as things are concerned there.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I think that's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. Yep.
I think
Yep.
it's pretty awesome. All right,
No
so
problem.
let's move to the story of COVID. This is the latest that's coming out in terms of COVID updates. The CDC panel has advised the Pfizer boosters for kids or children, I'm sorry, ages 12 and older. This has come out in the last couple of hours. The panel of scientific advisors to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention endorsed the booster shots for the Pfizer BioNTech coronavirus vaccine for children ages 12 to 17, citing the rising infections in teens and young adults, of course. And this is, of course, is the Omicron variant is just spreading like wildfire throughout the country. And the Pfizer BioNTech boosters are now authorized for any American older than 12 who is 5 months past his or her second dose of the vaccine. Now, as far as Moderna is concerned, that we're still looking at the possibility of the children being given the vaccine, the booster. But Moderna says we're strong for 6 months. So, and you know, you guys, I don't know if I told you this, but I did go to get my booster over the Christmas holiday.
Okay.
And so I went, and it was 1 day before the 6-month time period.
Mhm.
1 day. So I was 5 months and 29 days
They
from
wouldn't give
my
it to you?
second shot. And God bless the U.S. Army that were there doing the shots, but they would not let me do it.
Are you serious?
I kid you not.
Wow.
So I just wasn't meant to get it that day. And the next week when I went back, I met Officer Harvey from the U.S. Army, who told me, Myra, that he and his mom used to listen to the show on the way to school every day.
Him and his mom.
So it was great to meet him. Absolutely. And as he said, oh, the elderly are getting their boosters. So
So sorry.
also, COVID is affecting a lot of people in the television business. We talked about how some people ain't scared and others are being affected by this. Jimmy Fallon had revealed that he came up with the Omicron variant over the holiday, and Seth Meyers' show is down for the week. It's dark as a result of getting the positive result. Whoopi Goldberg has been out, and she's been seen on The View, but just to give an update on her condition and hoping to be back at work. But between these television shows where you got Seth Meyers, you got Jimmy Fallon, and Whoopi Goldberg, as well as other people who are affected by this. So it's not going away. And a lot of people I saw for a lot of the live TV shows this week, for daytime and as well as for nighttime, a lot of them were doing their shows. If they were doing it, we're doing it from home, and keeping folks separated. So it's interesting.
We're back to May. We're back to May of 2020.
Yep.
Yeah, man. No, you're
Back
absolutely
to the
right.
future.
And that's why this year is called 2022.
Two.
We had 6. Well, man, We had 6 acts going back to the how it affects TV. We had 6 acts booked for New Year's Rockin' Eve. Every single one of those acts was affected by COVID, right? LL Cool J was dropped out. Oh shoot. An unnamed act who was supposed to be in it got COVID and dropped out. Carol G got to New York because we tested. I mean, we test literally twice a day in some cases to make sure nobody has COVID. Carol G tested out, and then a drummer tested for Journey. Every one of our 6 acts somehow was affected. Billy Porter lost the background singer.
Wow.
So
but he did not lose his step or costumes.
No. That costume had COVID. It still went on.
One of the other things that we're talking about in the newsletter is about my favorite story that I've gotten to do recently, and I love talking about this woman in particular, and that is the Attorney General of the state of New York, as well as the new Manhattan District Attorney. And the headline of this is called "Black Legal Eagles Soar," and they are continuing their investigations into the doings of Donald Trump. And we know what Letitia James has done, and most recently, she has also ordered subpoenas for the Trump children, Donald Jr. and Ivanka. They both said, "We're not coming. If our dad doesn't have to come, we're not coming either." But that's okay. She'll wait them out, and she's got the time to do it now, as well as the Manhattan DA who's the first Black DA of Manhattan, District Attorney of Manhattan. His name is Alvin Braggs, and he says that he's going to continue the work of Cyrus Vance Jr. and is going to keep the heat on the Trump businesses, I should say. So we'll see what happens with that. And I did promise that we would talk about Antonio Davis and Antonio Brown.
Antonio, yes, not Antoine.
We
were like Antoine Davis, Antoine Brown, Antonio Brown.
I'm revealing too much about my past, but I will tell you, we're talking about Antonio Brown and the story that Cam did on this story, and talking about the steady decline of Antonio Brown, and how we really do have to check in and check up on each other. This is the initiative of the What You Need to Know newsletter, as well as it's Sybil, and to check on folks. And this is a man who is in a deep, dark place, it seems to me, and he needs help. And if it's not going to come from his team or his teammate like Tom Brady, somebody please step up and help this man, because it just
I wouldn't assume it didn't come, right? That the way it was phrased, it felt like he wasn't being helped by his team, and I think that was indeed the case. But people can only be helped so far, right? Unfortunately, right? Everything that he has been supported in a number of areas. Sure, he's a high performing player, but sometimes the challenge outweighs the support. Or outraces the support.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't get a sense, and I will tell you, I'm comparing it to the relationship that he had with Mike Tomlin when he played for the Steelers. And Mike Tomlin seemed to be that force and that support that was good for him at that time. I haven't seen that in the years after he left the Steelers, and getting that kind of support. That's from my perspective.
I think I'd be, and as always, as we talked about before, I'd be reticent to compare what happens public and private and say.
Sure, of course. I'm just talking about in terms of things that I've read and seen. So absolutely, but you're absolutely right. What goes on the outside and what we see from the outside looking in is completely different than the reality oftentimes. And so that's fair. But I do think that he is a man who, from my perspective, Steve, is crying out for something. And I have a feeling that it is, and as Cam mentioned in his story, it has a lot to do with, knocking that head about all these years. Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie Concussion? You saw the movie Concussion?
Yeah.
So, and I hope I can describe this correctly. They talk about how a woodpecker pecks wood. And so, but the structure of the woodpecker is that the tongue or something wraps around the brain, so that when a woodpecker goes at the wood, the brain is secured, right? Nature and evolution let you know that, like, if this is going to be the thing that you do, your brain's got to be secured, right? And so there's nothing in our evolution that tells us that we should be going at 20 miles per hour and then have another helmet hit our helmet, right? And so we didn't. There was nothing about humans that evolved, and that was the thing that put it absolutely in place. That was
brilliant, and
right.
I thought that was an absolutely brilliant comparison and instruction on nature and how it works, and as opposed to these children who have been getting knocked up, against each other for years and years, and ultimately it does not end well for most of those people. Mm-hmm. So, all right, so excuse me, have a little bit of something. Hope it's not the Marion.
Hey, can I ask about Antoine Davis since we're here? That sounds like a much more interesting story. That sounds like a much more interesting story.
But hey, Antoine. Wow, Brian Scott, thank you for that. 7 HBCUs received bomb threats yesterday. That is definitely something we need to be talking about and paying attention to. So we will follow up on that, Brian, and appreciate your staying on top and giving us that.
Thank you. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's talk about entertainment. And Stephen Hill, you were involved in a New Year's Eve mega event. Can you tell us about it and how successful you were at it?
No, it was just a little thing.
I saw your name in the credits.
It was just a little.
Okay, so let's still difficult for some of us to read.
I'm sorry. Yes, Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve dominates the ball drop with nearly 20 million viewers.
And how did the other guys do that were so sloppy, drunk, and rude?
Oh, they were horrible. So CNN dropped 45% from last year. 45% in their rating from last year. 45%. That was just rude. That was rude. And what was Don Lemon writing?
And I love Don. I absolutely adore Don Lemon. Yes. But I don't know what that was.
That was not a setup for a joke, just so there's no confusion.
No. I know it sounded like it, but
it wasn't. He was on something in New Orleans. He was riding on something, and he was on something in New Orleans.
That's both. Exactly.
But no. I mean, look, we and kudos to what I like to call our team at Team Garden level, putting on 20 million folks watched it. But it was they 10:30 they just opened up the pens and let everyone come in like it was, like I said, 2017. So I hope it's not a super spreader event because Omarion was out there. And shout out to Omarion who did a little thing. He made a little fun of himself that we asked him to do. So
I thought that was really cute.
Yeah,
and a good spirit and a good sport on that too. Steve, your football team still doesn't have a name.
222-22. 222-22 is when they're going to announce their name.
The Washington football team is going to get a name on 222-22.
Yes.
And what's it going to be?
The Twos.
Deuce.
The Washington Twos. The Washington Deuces, which describes their seasons.
The way they're playing.
27 years. Oh, they dropped a deuce. That's right.
And the same could be said for the Chicago Bears, so I'm not mad at you. Absolutely. What would you like for them to be called?
The Washington
Winners.
Washington football team.
I really want to be the Washington team football, so that their acronym can be WTF. Like that to me makes all the sense in the world. Let's go. How do you describe your team? WTF.
Exactly.
I love that.
Well, then we'll be the WTF Chicago. The Red Wolves was the name that was mentioned. Wow.
Look.
Oh my! Oh, are you really, Myra?
Huh?
That's right.
Are you a Falcons fan now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Nobody's a Chiefs fan.
Oh well, I'm a fan of the quarterback.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's my girlfriend's team, so I guess I'm with them. I don't know.
Go quarterback.
You want Patrick Mahomes?
We are
Right.
talking about. We're talking about football. Wait, we're talking about
Yes.
Yes.
We are.
Football.
Yes.
I forgot.
Yes, we are.
That
Yeah,
is a subject matter. Yes.
absolutely are. All right, so let's. It's time for us to wrap it up. I want to thank you all. It's been a lot of fun. I hope that you all have had as much fun as I. It's always a great time with you three merrymakers, and I appreciate you more than you know. And it's time for us to take a look at Yogi's Jewel for this
Oh,
day.
okay, Jules.
Oh, did you?
No. Go
Okay.
ahead.
What the world needs more is grace to the worthy and unworthy. So inhale grace and exhale shame.
Grace.
Oh, dang.
I know, right? That's pretty heavy. Inhale grace, exhale all that shame.
Some shame got stuck in my chest. Yeah, it's just
Cough that
stuck.
shame out.
Right.
Anybody's an old fan of the time. And then besides, when you hear the word grace, you go a completely different way. So I don't know if
Right.
anybody checks on that. Grace. Hurry up, Grace.
Maybe we did say R.P. Betty White too.
We did not discuss it today, but you're absolutely right. The great Betty White lost just weeks before her 100th birthday, and the town of Oak Park, Illinois, is going to be paying homage to her, making it Betty White Day on the 17th, which would have been her 100th birthday.
Like
So,
someone
absolutely.
posted, black folks just gonna say she was 100.
Well, that's pretty much what People Magazine said, because they had the.
She was 100. Okay,
Oh.
you're not gonna quibble over these last 2 weeks, okay?
But you know what? Perhaps we'll get a chance to talk about her in the next couple of weeks, Kwyn, because I think we all have our favorite TV shows and what have you, and memories, and all of that. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Go ahead and inhale some more grace and get rid of that shame there, Kwyn. And we'll see you all again soon. Aloha.
All right, take care, everyone.
Bye, bye. Happy New Year.